Hello, YouTube. I'm not gonna go further than that. Hi, YouTube. How you doing? I hope you guys are doing well. We're gonna go to move into it. This is number 3 for the day, and for you guys are wondering, yes, this does come out like once a day for you guys. But I really appreciate. First off, I really appreciate all of you guys sending the emails to me because it means a ton. It actually helps Brady and I be able to answer all of these. For those of you guys that don't know, I'm pretty sure it'll come up in the chat. Brady's not here for these couple of ones that I'm making, but come next stream or come Friday for us on Twitch, it'll be Brady will be here to help answer some of those as well. Oh, this is your first greeting. Yes, yes, get hype, hype. Let's go. First greeting. Let's go. But yes. I really appreciate every single one of you guys being here. For those of you wondering, I'm not gonna put up the email on the screen because that's a confidentiality risk, and especially when it comes to being able to answer questions that people sent through the email. For those of you guys that are here and do want advice, Kraith or one of the mods will go ahead and like drop the email that you guys can go ahead and send something to. If you guys have a scenario, a relationship breakup, anything that's happening in your life that you guys need advice from a psychologist friend from. Best way for me to put it. I hope that helps. I really sincerely hope that helps. Um, and yeah, feel free to send in any of those, any situation or anything that's happening. Without further ado, also, hello first time viewer, Lauren. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let me drink some water first. I can't just say let's go ahead and jump into it without drinking water. Okay. Yeah, water is important. Stay hydrated. Practice self care, guys. This is advice for a breakup. Okay. Thank you, by the way, for putting yourself out there like this. I usually don't think my issues are so severe that I can't take care of them myself, and often don't want to burden others with it, professional or otherwise. I tend to repress feelings, and I guess it's led to my present uncertainty. Hey, no, don't thank me, man. Thank you for actually being vulnerable and open and sending an email. I really appreciate it. Last April, I broke up from an over 3 year relationship, which, ouch. And while the worst of it is over, as of the summer, I'm always still feeling hung up on this. However, I'm unsure if it's because of the relationship or general feeling of stagnation or dissatisfaction with myself. I tried to look up symptoms on whether or not I'm over it, and most never applied in the first place. Or our mutual friends were mostly my friends. They don't mention her, and I, for the most part, don't either. Never stalked her Facebook. Even prior to the breakup, I often reflected and took responsibility for what I've done wrong, etc. But at the end of the day, when I sleep or when my thoughts are still listless in the morning, she still comes up and I have to reprocess the same ideas again. Our breakup was tame, and past day 1 or 2, I never felt a desire to get back together, at least consciously, I think. But I still feel the pain that I didn't feel before, and I'm not sure if it goes away nor if it's even about the relationship anymore. Because this isn't something that keeps me up to the point of insomnia or any severe amount of anxiety, I just shrug it off and try to continue with my life. I remember being told mental illness is only important if they impede your daily life, but it's hard for me to tell if it is. It's not like I'm avoiding work or my interest over it, it just bothers me with no indication of going away. Maybe it's my impatience. In any case, there are troubles, and I hope I'm not doing too much by asking you this, or this was too long. I just felt that if I didn't explain myself, the answer would be a bit too similar to the usual stuff I found on the internet regarding moving on. Thank you, P. You know what? First off, let me go ahead and say this. There's not enough research. I think my whole thesis was quite literally on relationship dissolution and self recovery time. If you guys don't know what that is, it quite literally means like breakups and how long it takes for you to heal, like properly heal from breakups, right? Um, yeah. So the best way that I can throw this out there, because like there's not enough literature or people like, there's always research on attachment and like, oh, like, what does your attachment style say about you? But yet there's like not enough individuals that actually take the opportunity to like research, for example, how long is it going to take for me to actually recover from a scenario like this, like normally, like following a bell curve, statistically speaking. I'm gonna be straight up. Any relationship breakup, whether tame or not, it hurts. It can actually, like, put itself in areas of our unconscious and subconscious that will keep popping up when we least expect it. Um, so last April, I will be honest, what I found in my data and my research that I did was that it usually takes around half. So you take whatever your relationship length was, uh, and you divide it by half, and you can add, for example, if you guys had friendships before it, or if you guys had communication afterwards. So for example, a 3-year relationship, normally speaking, and this doesn't have to apply to everyone, would take around 1.5 to 2 years for someone to actually start feeling comfortable or whole. People heal differently according to their attachment styles. I'm gonna put this straight up out there. The more secure you are, the faster you're able to go ahead and heal. Sorry, there's a lot of airplanes passing by. It's shaking my entire. This is what I get for living next to a military base. But yes, the more secure you are in your relation or in your attachment, the quicker you're able to heal. Um, but let's go ahead and break this down. So first off, if your mind is constantly going over your partner, for example, I was in a relationship for 6.5, almost 7 years, uh, and still, you know what? I can say I've healed, I've dated, I'm a complete individual, but still, there are aspects of that previous relationships or previous relationships in general that come to my mind often, and I'm like, huh, and I want you to go ahead and question this. And for those of you that have been in a relationship and have broken up and stuff like that, and when you guys wake up, are you guys missing the person? Or are you guys missing the aspects that the individual brought into the relationship? I know that I miss some of the aspects that the individual brought into the relationship, i.e., for example, uh, I've told you guys this. Like, my hair is like one of my number one cool down methods, right? Um, Like, well, yeah, my hair is one of my cool down methods instantly, and I didn't have to tell this individual. They just like instinctively knew, right? And it's like an awkward thing to bring up sometimes, and whatnot. So it's sort of like one of those things where it's like they instinctively knew how to do this, and I sort of missed this, or I missed the dominance in this aspect, or submissiveness in this aspect. Um, and it's super important to go ahead and detail that out and be able to think about it. Even chat, if you're reading along and you see chat even answering something like that, where it can be hard. It can be hard to distinguish what it is. So, for example, number one, I they were great companions for a majority of the time. Most of my relationships are, you know, they don't quite necessarily meet the individual that I'm looking to spend whatever with, especially if the breakup was tame. Um, so, for example, if I were to go ahead and bring up, like, um, would you guys take back one of your exes to chat? If this moment, one of your exes came through, no explanation, no sorries, no nothing, came through and was like, hey, we should get back together, would you take back your ex? Yeah, Blade Dragon. He, Blade Dragon. If you have other events, traumatic events or like tough scenarios or stress that were happening during that relationship, especially it being your first relationship, it'll take significantly longer for it to heal. I'll probably throw my thesis paper up on YouTube or on Discord, but it takes time, right? And that's actually perfect that you brought that up, Vent. Like, healing and being able to start feeling okay with yourself and start, I still wouldn't even talk to her. Hey, there you go. But start to heal and start being able to feel okay and take away the anger and sort of the strong animosities and like stuff like that. It takes a while. It takes a while to be okay with not being okay. That sounds fucking weird. But in our society, we're literally told it's not okay to not feel okay. you know so it's important to realize that it's okay to not be okay. Like, it is perfectly reasonable to have a shitty week, a shitty month, if something shitty happened. Logically speaking, that's reasonable. We can't all just process our emotions 100% of the time you know so keep that in mind. Like, it's okay to feel what you feel, even if at the end of the day you're like, hey, you know what, even though it's been, since last April when we broke up, um I'm still thinking about this individual. What you'll find the majority of the times, if you go on board on the internet or anything like that, you'll find people talking about your attachment styles, or you know what, maybe you should do this. So here's what I'll do that. Maybe it'll help you, right? It helped me get over like my relationship stuff that I had in the past. Number one, try no contact. Even if you don't have any contact with them right now, just don't block all social media at the moment, right? Distance yourself. Um, if you have, because even having access allows your brain to wonder. So Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, whatever you have, block it until you feel that you are okay or comfortable enough to being ahead and like knowing that like yeah they're not necessarily a part of your life, like and won't be a part of your life like, every single day, but like the thoughts don't bother you. So having those barriers, those blocks, definitely helps. Number two, this is what I did because of what like my previous relationship and sort of the trauma that came with it. It helps to write letters as to what you're looking for, i.e., for example, to my future partner. I hope that that's a good way to start it. So, for example, what are you looking for? Are you looking for someone that's kind? Are you looking for someone that can communicate? Are you looking for someone that's actually willing to like sit down and talk to you when you're having an issue or hug you when you're sad? What are you looking for in a partner? What are the traits that you found attractive in an individual? It works better if the other person does the blocking. Oof. I made the mistake of trying to communicate, which probably prolonged things. But that's the thing, Blade Dragon. You were being mature about it. If you try to communicate after the breakup, yeah, it can hurt. It can definitely hurt. Are you kidding me? Like, especially when you start hearing rumors and false narratives about the situation or about the breakup, it fucking hurts, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I heard a lot of weird narratives and stories being thrown about me, and I'm like, I tend to be like the nicest person ever, but okay. um, Also, worth noting, we broke up the day Smash. First off, and that is messed up. If anybody fucked up my Smash Ultimate release, I would be pissed. Yeah, no, because it can ruin it. For example, I can't watch La La Land. That movie, it just fucking ruined it for me. Absolutely ruined the entire movie. I can't even hear a theme song, because it like it makes me go like, oof, okay, I don't want to hear this. I'm good. So really important to like be aware of your triggers. Yeah, it's really, really important to be aware of your triggers and what can trigger you guys and like what's not. Hey, Masters, thanks for joining. Yeah, and then it can be really rough. Um, but that's my point. Is like you know, one, if you can do the blocking, that's amazing. And if it's not for her, you can even say, hey, if they reach out, they're like, why did you block me? Just be like, hey, this is for myself. I just want a period to be able to work on myself. That should be the number one uh, priority is being able to take care of yourself, being able to grow, being able to understand where you are. Yeah, Blade Dragon, sounds good. I'll see you in 13 minutes. Number two, you know, even if the breakup was tame, try and understand what you're missing about it. For example, in my previous partner, I know that one of the biggest things that I missed was sort of the nonverbal communication. They were able to pick up on so much as to what I was feeling and thinking without me ever saying a word. It got to a point where, we were both also actors. We'd be able to like tell a whole story just by like little micro expressions, right? So we'd be able to go ahead and like go to big events, go to parties, know when we're uncomfortable, not or comfortable, when we need an out, when we need like to approach certain people or whatnot, just based off of our own facial expressions or micro expressions in general. Um, so yeah, that was fucking fantastic. Because sometimes you don't want to be like, "Hey, darling, do you want to go ahead and like, take off? You don't look so good." Sometimes you just want to go ahead and be able, especially if you're sort of an introvert, to just be like, "Hey, let's dip," without saying "let's dip." So there's a couple different aspects for you to go ahead and do in there. Another big thing, um, mental health issues doesn't necessarily mean that it impedes your life. That's with addiction. I'm gonna be 100% honest and clear this up because I've seen this like on the internet, like you shouldn't seek a therapist if it's not impeding your life. No. For example, if you're having auditory or visual hallucinations, yeah, go seek out a therapist. If you're just went through a breakup and it fucking hurts and you're still going to work and whatnot, do you think you're having time to process your emotions? I don't think so. I'll be honest, I had to take a couple months off to process my own shit. Um, so yeah, like mental health is so important. Mental health is probably one of the most important things out there, and being able to talk, being able to vent, ask for advice, being able to talk to friends, being able to have your natural supports, um, being able to like put yourself out there is probably one of the most important things. And as well, once you feel that you've grown, once you feel stability, once you feel like you've hit a point where you're like, I am comfortable being able to give 100% of myself into a relationship, or being myself in a relationship, and them also giving 100%, then that's the point when you can start saying, okay, it's time to go ahead and like pass on and move on, and you know keep growing. Until then, keep growing, man. I hope this helps. I hope that's kind of it. Let me read real quick. I just want to make sure that I hit over the major points. But yeah, man. Hey, that's all I gotta say is like relationships hurt, especially if it doesn't matter if it's a tame or if it's a really really bad breakup. Uh, it's like it can hurt. It can take a part of you, man. So keep doing you. Keep practicing self care, and you know I hope the advice actually helps. All right, chat. We're gonna do one more. But thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Practice some self care, and I will, if you need more advice, join our Discord and hit that support, or send me another email. That's totally fine. Either way is 100%.